And I'm now delighted to be joined by Independent Ireland TD for Cork North Central, Ken O'Flynn. Ken, you're very welcome
Thanks very much.
to the Irish political roundup. Social Democrats and the Labour Party have put a proposal to remove prayer from the start of all sessions, and that's something that you have taken. You're not particularly in agreement with. In fact, you're actually wearing some ashes on you for Ash Wednesday.
Well, we had mass inside in the Dáil today. Actually, we had mass inside in the Cork's dining room, which was organised by members for those that like to practice. Look, the reality for me is, this shouldn't be the biggest issue on the Labour Party and Soc Dem's agenda. I think there's a lot more important things for us to discuss inside in the House and to get right inside in the House. Talking about health and talking about housing, and talking about delivering infrastructure, transport around the country, the amount of children that are waiting on CAMS lists. So for this to be at the top of their priority, for me, just says an awful lot about them and what they're after and what they want to achieve or what they want to do with the country. I think the irony wasn't lost on me, because if I recall that the last Dáil, when it sat, had a delegation from a Muslim group, and 10 minutes of Muslim prayer was used in a committee room. Not one of the Labour Party or Soc Dems objected to that. Right? Nobody objected to that. But they seem to have a huge problem when it comes to anything Christian. Like this idea of we should be a circular society, that would not reflect Ireland correctly, to my mind. Most of my constituents identify as Christian. Right? I identify as a Catholic, maybe a lapsed Catholic, a bad practicing Catholic. Many of us are, you know. But the reality is that, you know, we have a tradition here. I don't see them looking to ban Muslim prayer. I don't, you know, we've accommodated all religions and none in the previous Dáil by providing a 30-minute or 30-second moment of reflection in Leinster House to allow those of all faiths and none to reflect on. The important thing for me about this prayer, and, you know, I do see myself as a Christian person, as a spiritual person, as I said, maybe a bad Catholic, but, you know, there's a line in that where it says, let us to be directed by thee and through thee. And for me, that's a very powerful line, because it reminds me of that we're here to serve a higher power. We're here to serve the state. We're here to serve the people of the state. We're here to do good for our fellow human beings and to represent their views in the House of Parliament. That's what it reminds me of. That's what I take from the prayer. Other members may take nothing, other members may take something. But I think for the Labour Party and for the agenda from Labour and Soc Dems, who are pretty much the same thing. Right? It's Labour and Labourella. You know, that to be the highest point of their agenda for the country. It sets the benchmark very, very low of what's on their agenda. But it's worrying. Because this idea of secularism being brought into the state, pushing for, you know, it seems to me at times that we're pushing everyone who is Christian, pushing everybody, and we're trying to make allowances to look like the good guy. And being the good guy and looking like the good guy,
they're two totally
can be very, very different things.
Two totally different. And from what I can see, it is a very busy place, Dáil, and there's a lot of hustling and bustling, and having those minute or two just to kind of reflect and kind of get yourself in a space, you know, because you are doing serious work, you know, that has impact on people's lives. So having that time to reflect is important as well.
I've written to the Council. I've suggested that we have a space for reflection ourselves, you know, just a small cupboard in the buildings that we occupy here that could be used by members as a prayer room. I've also suggested to the Council as well that we have a baby feeding room. Because there isn't baby feeding room for members of the House or for their staff. And an awful lot of people are doing that, you know, and it's main practice in Europe. So I'm not this Philistine coming down as the Soc Dems and Labour would like to make me out to be, that I'm this hard right Catholic you know, type of character that they like to make me out to be on the mainstream media at times. You know, I'm progressive in how I think, but I'm also believe in our traditions. And I believe the people of this country believe in our traditions as well. And I think it's very important that we hold on to our identity, we hold on to our culture. You know, we seem to be misplacing ourselves and being upsetting people, or we seem to be upsetting the Soc Dems and people like that when you talk about your own culture and preserving your culture. It's everybody else's culture is fine, just yours isn't. I don't get that. I don't understand it, and I'm not interested in understanding it.
It's a fair